all the way through the seminar there, because I want to make sure you guys, coming out from one of my seminars, I want to make sure you learn a lot. I'll try to cover a lot of material for you guys in different scenarios and things. And I think, for me, I can give you guys a good perspective because anyone's ever wrestled with me knows I'm not strong, I'm not fast, I'm chubby, I'm not very much of an athlete at all. But what got me through all these years, what brought me to the high level of competitive grappling in the MMA was the technique. The technique is the most important thing. If you have strength and speed, that just adds to the package. But the technique is everything, okay? And that's a lot of things I'm showing you guys. Again, if you're doing 100% technique, they should work for you. Not everything's going to work for everybody. You do enough training and things, you kind of figure out what works for you and you run with it. But I mean, there have been plenty of things that guys showed me that didn't work, but plenty of others that work just fine. So through years and years of training, you kind of find your niche and what works for you, okay? So just keep that in mind, guys. If something doesn't work for you right away, drill, who knows, we might start clicking for you. So, on to the half guard. Now this is a little bit more advanced. For a lot of guys, that's kind of scary, but I'm going to try to make it as simple as I possibly can. Half guard, the disclaimer I have about half guard is very, very good. One of my favorite things to do, but it does not work on much bigger opponents. Like, for me, I can do half guard guys my size, slightly bigger, obviously, guys that are lighter than me, but someone who's, I weigh 175, someone who weighs like 225, I'm going to use half guard for it. And that's important. You've got to learn how to use strategy to your favor. You wrestle everyone or you roll with everyone a little bit differently. I will roll completely different with someone who's tall and rangy than I will with someone who's short and stocky. The styles are what make good matches. And again, it's not the same style. You have to change up your game plan. And again, I want to stress with the half guard stuff. Again, you're wrestling a heavyweight or someone who's much bigger than you. That's not the time for half guard. Then you want to use spider guard, arm drags, and stuff we've already covered, close guard, because that's going to neutralize the strength of the weight. But half guard, you're really kind of pulling the guy's weight on top of you, which is why, again, if you got someone much bigger than you, it's usually not as effective. But half guard is very, very good with someone your size, slightly bigger, smaller, and it's very good for heavyweights. And we're going to start off with something real simple here. One thing I like about half guard is it's applicable to gi, no gi, MMA. Very, very pliable, okay? Self-defense, of course, too. The best examples in MMA, if you guys need reference to this, would be to watch Minotauro. Minotauro did this week to Fedor, he did this week to Sylvia, he did this week to Keith Herring, okay? It's just traditional half-guard sweep where you're just going to basically roll the guy up and over. This is assuming the guy doesn't know that much about jiu-jitsu and he doesn't really post his hands. And that's when you're going to use this move. So let's start with the position. Half guard, the best starting position for this would be, let's say he's in front of me, I'm sitting up. I'm just giving you a basic scenario. I'm going to put one foot on the outside. You normally wouldn't do this, but for half guard you will for the moment here. Left foot goes on the outside, and half guard I scoop. In beginning, I'm going to hook his leg here. This is important, guys. If you don't have that leg hooked and your leg just on the floor, you have nothing. Okay, so you've got to get that leg hooked here. If you have trouble, let's say the guy's sitting literally on his heel, that's where the underhook comes in. You want to get the underhook to pull the guy in and get him off that heel. And then you get that leg across. You don't always have to have your legs like this in half guard, by the way. Okay, you can have just one foot moving across another foot like this. Okay, once I get in here, the underhook. The underhook goes hand in hand with half guard. If you let the guy underhook you, it's not going to work. It's going to get you flat, you're not going to be able to pivot, you're not going to be able to move. You've got to always fight for the underhook. That means if you come in here, he pummels inside like this, you can't accept that. You've got to take your arm back under his arm. And even way you should shoot before, you can get here, good. Get here, okay? From here, I'm going to dive underneath. Again, very, very important, okay? I'm not going to just drop my side and do this. There's no cross face over here. I won't make that position. I come up my hand for a reason. I can get underneath that arm and hook the leg here. Now, once I get here, I'm pretty good. I put the foot on the floor, I scoop my hips under. Okay, just like this. The move we're working on is we're just saying the guy's not really putting his hands, he's not countering one, so he's going to roll him up and over to this side here. Up and over to finish. It really is that simple. Again, I wouldn't believe this would work until I saw Minotauro do it so many times, not only here in the States, but in Japan, in big fights. It comes here. As far as punishment you can take, you're always going to take shots in the MMA, but keep this in mind. When you're here, this is not sitting here. I'm stopping and showing you guys in a real situation I've done right underneath. Okay, here, foot goes to the floor, because I can't just up and hoist standing on top of me. Foot goes to the floor and I shoot my hips underneath me. Look at my right leg, guys. He stays hooked on his leg the whole time. If I did this and just try to roll, he throw that leg out. Now I'm in trouble. I I've got to stay here. This arm stays on his leg. I don't go like this on my head. I don't grab his belt. Right here. Other arms, just like this, under the arm here. This arm helps a little bit too. I've got to pull him a little bit. When I get my hips underneath him, this is an easy move. Literally 1 calorie burn, roll and move. Kick the leg up and through, and finish. This move here is going to work best on guys who don't know that much about the jiu-jitsu ground. This works good on guys who have no ground experience. I don't know why, but it works good with wrestlers and judo guys. Only because the 9 is used to the half guard. Once they get the jiu-jitsu, they start putting hands out, which we'll get to. But other jiu-jitsu guys are unquestionably the most difficult to do half guard to because they understand the position. But a lot of guys don't quite get this, okay? Which is why Minotaurus will be able to use this. So you're under, just like this. It also works really good when you come up and guys get to the ability to grab your head, even better. Inside, scoop, up and over. Kick that leg out, right across. It really is that easy, guys. And this is a good starting move if you don't really know much about half guard and you want to learn. This is a good move to start with because it's easy to pick up. Underhook. I'm here, guys. Hand on the floor. Inside the leg. When I come in, look at my left foot. I scoop my hips underneath Danny here. From here, easy things. Up and over. All right. So let's get with our partners and work on that one, guys.